Okay, now we're going to get a chair and put it to your right side. And you want to stand with the midline of your feet parallel. Let your hip creases open and just let your weight drop into both legs. And we'll practice Vrikshasana or tree today. So you can use that chair on your right for support. You're going to let your weight come into your right leg and bring your left leg up either onto the inner thigh, inner knee, or inner calf, even ankle if that's as far as up as your leg will go. And remember, it's important to keep the hips square to the front. And then you can either take both arms up into your V or one arm if your balance is off. The most important thing is to keep the hips square. Let the weight flow through into that standing leg. You just want to look at a point in front of you that's nice and so that you keep your steady eyes. And it's okay if you move a little bit. And feeling that weight fully balanced on that leg. Breath is easy. And we'll just stay here for another few breaths. And then we'll come on down and come back into both feet. Alrighty, and then we'll change sides. So you're going to take that over to your left side. And again, always starting with standing in both legs and getting that sense of everything being settled. All the toes pointing forward. Now your weight's going to go into your left leg and you're going to bring the right foot up. Again, either the inner thigh, the inner knee, or the lower leg, squaring the hips to the front. You can either take one arm up if your balance is off, or you can take both arms up. You're looking at a point and just staying steady and breathing. Breathing easily, settling into that support leg. And again, we'll stay here for a couple more breaths. A little wobbly on this side. Good. And then bring your arms down, bring your foot down, and again, settle down into both legs. All right, and then we're going to move our we're going to come back into our chair, just like we did at the beginning. So you're going to slide back into the seat of your chair. If you need something underneath your feet, put it. You're going to turn your toes to face inward, and you're going to lean forward into your elbows at your knees with your neck soft and your head hanging, and adjusting your ankles to be directly underneath your knees with your toes turned in. And settling back into those bones. Breath is just easy. As you find those bones, the muscles will soften, the neck will lengthen, the weight of the head will fully hang. Those tailbone muscles will start to let go. And then again, you can either stay here or you can go into stage 2 by taking your arms in between your thighs. Neck is soft, shoulders are soft. It's okay if the knees open wider as long as you don't lift up the big toes, keeping that weight grounded in your feet.
And then if you're in stage 2, coming up one elbow at a time and propping yourself up. Remember, you want to take a few breaths here to let the blood flow change directions so you don't get lightheaded when you come back up. And then to come all the way up, take a hand on either thigh, press into your thighs, and come all the way up. Okay, and then just continuing to sit in the chair, feet comfortably apart, sitting upright, shoulders are soft. We're going to turn and look over our right shoulder, keeping your chin level to the floor, coming back through. And then you're going to turn and look over your left shoulder and bring your head back to center. We're going to take our right ear to our right shoulder, bring our right arm up and just give it a little weight. When you find a stretchy spot, see if you can just soften and allow that muscle to lengthen out. And you may go through a few of those stretchy spots. And then we're going to come back up into center, and then you're going to bring your left ear to your left shoulder, bring your left arm up, and again, lengthening out that right side, keep the right shoulder soft. When you find a stretchy spot, see if you can just pause and let that soften and lengthen. Good, and then we're going to come back up into center. And then again, we're going to turn and look over our right shoulder, and you might notice that you have more range now. Bringing your head back and turning and looking over your left shoulder. And coming back to center. Okay, and then we're going to go into the shoulder joints. So we'll start on the right side. We're going to go 3 times around to the back. Nice and smooth, just moving the shoulder and seeing what that range is, kind of lubricating that joint. And then we're going to go in the other direction, coming forward, down, and back, and going around 3 times in this direction. Good, and then just let that soften. We'll do the same thing on your left side, first around to the back. And then we're going to change, and we're going to go around to the front. Okay, and then we're going to go down onto the floor to do half frog. So you can move your chair, and you're going to bring yourself down onto the floor. And just let the front of your body totally release. So just like in Shavasana, where you let the back of your body soften against the floor, let your hips release. Your buttocks are soft, your legs are side by side with the big toes touching. Head can be turned whatever way you want for right now. And then we're going to tuck the toes on one foot. It doesn't matter which one you start with. Let that hip stay released into the floor. And then you're going to pull longer to pull that knee down towards your foot. And it just lengthens out that side a bit. And then you'll do the same thing on the other foot or the other leg. And then again, make sure that your toes are side by side, but your legs are soft. So we will turn our heads to the right. Make sure you don't have anything on the side of your body. And you're going to bring that right leg out to the side until it comes up to touch your right wrist bone. And you're making a 90-degree angle at your knee. And you can either leave your arm down here like this, or you can bring it up by your head. And then this leg that's coming out from your hip, if you feel like it's angled out, you can use your foot the same way that you do in legs longer if you need to adjust it, so that you feel like that leg is coming straight out from your hip. And then the whole idea is just to soften The angle of your right leg intersecting with your spine is creating an opening at the sacrum. And then you're getting a gentle opening in your psoas muscle in the front of that left hip. Your breath is just easy. Just taking another couple of breaths here on this side. And then you can either walk or slide that foot all the way back down until your toes touch. Bring your arm back down at your side and just notice the changes between the two sides. You might notice that that leg's a little longer. Then you're going to turn your head to the left, and we're going to do the same thing here. You're going to bring your left leg up to your left wrist bone, adjust your lower leg so you feel like you have that 90-degree angle, and then you can either bring your hand up or leave it down, and then you might need to adjust the opposite leg so it's coming straight out from your hip. And then again, just settling in. Again, the juncture between that left leg and your spine is at the sacrum. And then just continue to release that right hip into the floor. Ardha Mandukasana, or half frog. And then you can either walk or slide that left leg back down until your toes touch. And again, bring that arm down. Just feel the changes. See if that leg feels a little longer, if the hips feel a little bit more open. There's no right or wrong answer. It's just whatever you're noticing. And then we're going to bring our forehead onto the floor and your hands by your lower ribs. And you're going to press into the floor. If you want to, you can just let your hip creases open towards the floor. And then you're going to come on up leading with your sit bones and bring those knees together, toes together. You're going to sit back onto the heels and then drop down onto your stacked fists. Good. Then you can come on up, and we're going to come into a table position. And so you want to come down onto your forearms. You want your knees to be underneath your hips, and your elbows are shoulder width, your wrists are shoulder width. I like to make a nice wide stance with my hands. Just make sure your hips aren't back like this, but the knees are directly underneath the hip joints. Then you're going to take your right hand behind your left elbow, and you're going to reach your left arm out so the elbow is lifted and the arm is straight, and then look down at the floor. Take a breath, and as you exhale, pull those stomach muscles in to support the back of your waist, and then as you drop your chest, you're getting the opening in the upper body. You can drop your forehead or your nose or your chin to the floor, wherever you want, but just keep those belly muscles active so you're not arching the waist, but you're getting the arch in the upper body. Soften in those hip creases or the hip sockets to receive the leg bone so you're not resisting. And then come on up, and then we're going to change sides. So you're going to take your left hand behind your right elbow, Right arm is going to reach out, elbow is lifted, looking down at the floor. Take a breath. As you exhale, pull your stomach muscles in, and then you're going to drop your chest, forehead or nose or chin on the floor. Keep the belly active, and this creates a nice opening in that upper body. Good. And then you can keep that right hand out there. Take your left hand out there as well. Arms are straight, looking down at the floor. Take a breath. Exhale, stomach in, and then dropping the chest. And again, forehead, nose, chin, chest, whatever touches. Keeping the belly active. Good. And then you can come on up. And we're going to do just a little bit with downward facing dog. So have your hands slightly in front of your shoulders. Knees are underneath your hips. You're going to tuck the toes under. The feet are just a couple of inches apart. Press down into your arms and come on up and push your arms straight, bringing your ears inside your upper arms. You can stay up on the balls of your feet. And then you're going to do slow bicycles, bending one knee and sinking the heel down, bending the other knee and sinking the heel down, keeping the full ball of the foot on the floor and sinking into the inside and the outside of the heel, feeling that calf open and lengthen. And then you can keep one heel towards the floor and then the other one down. Remember, you're trying to soften the shoulders and just settle in. If your heels are not touching, you can move your feet forward up to a full length of your foot and then see if those heels will drop in. Keeping the midline of your feet parallel. Breathing. One more breath. Good. And then you can come on down. Again, you're going to soften your feet, knees together, let your sit bones release back onto your heels, stack your fists, and rest your forehead on the top fist. Very good. Then come on up. And then we're going to take our 2 blocks. And put them side by side. And you can put a 3rd block behind them. And we're going to sit on these 2 blocks. And you're going to take your legs into a straddle. And you don't want it to be a real wide straddle, just a little bit on the outside maybe of the width of your mat, or you can see the distance that I have. Feel your weight in your sit bones and just let your weight shift towards the front of your sit bones and bring your hands down onto the floor and rest into your arms and your sit bones and let your head hang forward. If you can't reach the floor, you can come up onto fists, or you could even put a block or some books or something in front of you. But you want to just, as if you, as you rest into your arm bones, your shoulders will soften and the weight of the head will drop. And you're resting into your sit bones. This is Kurmasana. Your breath is easy. As the weight settles into the sit bones, it'll help to soften and lengthen those tailbone muscles. And take one more breath. And then you can inhale, and as you exhale now, the arms are going to release. You can just have your palms facing up, the legs stay long and soft, and you're just letting your body drop forward. Breathing easily. And then you can bring your hands again onto the floor, press into your arms, and then bring your hands on your thighs to press your body up. And then you're going to take your legs out in front of you. And remember, you want
to have, the heels are about an inch. You want to have the block behind you so that you don't lean your body back. So you're sitting upright, and we're going to take our left foot on the outside of our right lower leg. You're going to hold with your right hand and take your left hand, grab your belly, and you're going to twist to the left and bring your hand behind your sacrum on the block, either a fist, a flat hand, or fist or a flat hand. And then you're going to take your right arm and pull this foot up alongside the right thigh. You can either hook with your elbow or you can hook with your hand. Either is fine. I think I'm going to use my hand today. You're going to press down into that back arm to lengthen your thigh. And then you're going to use your arms to twist your body to the left. And you're going to turn and you're going to look over that left shoulder. Let your buttocks soften. Let your legs soften. You can slide that shoulder blade in. The back arm is helping to lengthen you and also to twist you. Both arms twisting. Keep breathing. Good, and then the head comes out first, and then the arm comes out, and you're going to take that left leg back out, and we'll do the other side. So right foot is going to come on the outside of the left lower leg, holding with your left hand, using your right hand, grab your belly and twist, and then bring your arm around behind you, either a fist or flat hand. Use your left hand to slide this foot up now, and the toes are pointing towards your foot. And then again, you can either hook with your elbow or you can hook with your hand. If you're using your hand, let your elbow soften in. Press into the back arm to help the length of the spine, support the length of the spine, and then you're using both arms to twist to the right. You can slide that right shoulder blade in to open up from the center of your chest out to the shoulder. Looking over that shoulder. Settling into your sit bones, softening your legs. Good, and then you can bring your head around and you can take your leg out. Heels are about an inch. And then you can just, settling into your sit bones, just let your weight shift forward in the sit bones, keeping the legs long and soft, and then just draping forward into Paschimottanasana. Shoulders are soft. Belly is soft. Thighs are soft. Buttocks are soft. I'm just taking a couple breaths here. And then you're going to bring your hands down on your thighs, slide up to your thighs, and press in. Come all the way up, neck and head come up last. Okay, and then you can lay down into Shavasana. If you have a chair, a folding chair like I have here, you can use that. You could use a hassock. You could use folded blankets. You can just use whatever you want, but you're going to lay down on your back. Let me just get a knee pad. And you're going to, if you need something underneath your head, if you're at home, you can use a pillow or a something softer. And then you're going to lay down, take your legs out over your chair. Your arms are either going to be at your sides with the palms facing up. You want to keep the back of your head on the floor and just gently draw your chin towards your chest, but then let your shoulders and your neck soften. So you just want it that your chin is not jutting up towards the ceiling. And then if that's uncomfortable, so you don't want your arms way out, you just have them alongside your body with the palms facing up. And if you'd rather, you can bring your hands onto your belly. You don't want to interlace your fingers, just let your hands be soft. And you want your heels to be about an inch apart. You don't want your legs, it's okay if the knees open out, but you don't want your feet to be really wide. And now I'm going to talk you through Shavasana. So I'm going to come out of this and just sit so you can hear me. So just take a nice deep breath in and out to settle in. And then starting down at your toes, notice your toes, all 10 toes, all at the same time. And then notice your feet, both feet at the same time. Notice all 10 toes and both feet, outside and inside. And then extend your awareness to include your ankles and the length of both legs. Notice your lower legs. Notice your knees through the length of your thighs and all the way up into and through both hips, outside and inside. And then extend your awareness to include the space between your hips, all along the base of your pelvis, and into and through your belly, outside and inside. And then notice all the way up the front of your torso to your chest. Be aware of the fronts of your shoulders, across your collarbones, and your whole chest, outside and inside. And then bring your awareness into the front of your ribs. And with your awareness, follow your ribs around your sides, into your back, so that you're now including the whole back of your torso in your awareness. Notice your upper back. Be aware of how those shoulder blades are resting into the floor and the upper vertebrae of your spine. As the muscles release their grip, those bones will just settle right into the floor. Notice the back of your rib cage and the vertebrae of your spine that come down through the ribs. Notice the back of your waist and the vertebrae coming through the waist area. And then keep following the spine down below the waist into your sacrum and tailbone, the very lowest part of your spine. Notice your whole low back, including the back of your hips and your buttocks. Be aware of your whole torso, front and back, outside and inside. Now from your torso, extend your awareness out through your arms to include your hands in your awareness. Notice all your fingers, your thumbs. Notice both wrists and through the length of both arms. Notice your lower arms, your elbows, your upper arms, and into and through both shoulders, outside and inside. And now notice along the tops of your shoulders and into and through the length of your neck. Notice the uppermost vertebrae of your spine that come through the neck, creating that bridge from your body into your head. Let your throat soften. From your neck, bring your awareness through your face, letting that jaw soften. Notice your neck, notice your face, notice your whole head, outside and inside. Be aware of your whole body, both feet and the length of both legs. Notice your torso, the whole trunk of your body from your hips all the way up into your shoulders. Notice your hands and the length of your arms and through your neck and face and head. Front and back, outside and inside, resting in your whole body. And we're going to rest for another couple of minutes. And take a longer, deeper, fuller breath in with a long and easy exhalation. And then you can gently begin to move your body, wiggling your fingers, wiggling your toes, rolling your head and neck from side to side, and stretching and moving in any way that feels good, that your body is asking for to bring movement back. And then when you're ready, you can bring both knees in. And you're going to roll over onto your side, whichever side you prefer is fine. And then press into the floor to come up. And we're going to finish with Yoga Mudra. So if you need something to put your forehead on, put that in front of you. You're going to be sitting with your knees and your toes together. It's best to do that when you come up on your hands and knees. Fingertips going to come into your hip creases. You're going to keep them there. Let your shoulders soften. You're going to fold forward, rest your forehead, and soften your elbows and just let them hang. Sealing in all the benefits of the practice that you just did. And then we're going to finish by coming up, and hands are going to come in front of the heart. Namaste. Stay safe.